This segment of AM Northwest is brought to you by Family Matters.
Health and education, safety, and the quality of life. KATU and our partners are proud to bring you Family Matters, offering solutions to the hard questions.
Because KATU and Providence Health and Services know that family matters.
If you've been wondering how the pandemic has impacted children and their overall development, our next guest has some answers. We welcome Medical Director of Providence Children's Development Institute, Dr. Martine Sachs. Good morning, Doctor. Good to have you with us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So do you think that the pandemic could have lasting effects on kids?
Well, sadly, I do. It's pretty dramatic, this whole event that we've all been going through. It's disrupted all parts of our lives, right? Like what we can do at home, what we can do at school and work. So anything that's big, that has a big effect on your life, is going to affect your development for in positive ways, if it's a good thing, and potentially in negative ways.
Well, we all know, would it be considered trauma? Because we all know that trauma affects children for the rest of their lives oftentimes. Right?
Well, I think, yeah. So I prefer to use the word adversity for what happens. So what happens in your life, you may have a positive event, or you might have an event that's more adverse. And what you do with it, what happens to you from that, and what you have to mitigate that may turn it into a trauma, or it may just be one of those obstacles that you surmounted. And I think it's really important to make that distinction. So we can all have terrible things that happen in our lives. If we have, positive relationships with parents or teachers, or if we have something that we really enjoy, we may be able to balance that out with what we call resilience. So resilience is the counterbalance to trauma or adversity. And I like to think, because I'm a developmental pediatrician, I think about the world in a developmental way. And so it's easy to think about development when we think about little children, right? They're going to roll before they sit, before they crawl, before they walk. They're going to say mama and dada before they say more words. And we know that they need to have, food and nutrition and an environment where people talk to them to do that. But the rest of your development until you're 25 or so also needs to have a lot of things going on. And we sort of forget that as a culture. We think of the things that you do after age 3 as learning, and we think that there's some volition involved. But really, it's all part of development, and you have the same needs. You need to have good nutrition and a good environment and positive things around you that let you make that progress. And I think that that's where COVID can have an effect. One of the things that we like to think about is sort of babies and their emotional development. Babies they cry when they need anything. They really don't know what they need. They just know that they need something. And so babies notice emotions. And as you grow up and as your brain develops, you get to express emotions, so that now we know maybe that you're hungry as opposed to that you need your diaper changed. And as you go through childhood, you learn to manage emotions. But to manage emotions and to learn how to not express them immediately, you have to have brain development. And that part of your brain is called the prefrontal cortex. It sits right here. And in a way, it overrides your more primitive or your more basic brain that says, hey, I'm hungry, or hey, I'm cold. But this prefrontal cortex doesn't fully develop until you're 25. Incidentally, that's why most car rental places don't let kids rent cars until they're 25. And you can disrupt the development of this brain if you're under stress.
So let me ask you this. What is it that family members can do? Mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, friends, neighbors. How can we help any youngster that we see that is probably more than stressed out, like all of us, from this COVID-19?
Absolutely. There are a number of things. I think the most important thing that I want parents to hear is not to worry too much about your child missing a year of school or falling behind academically. I know that's a big concern, and we all want our kids to be learning. But if we turn around, now that we can get out into the world a little bit more, and focus only on the academic, and we don't focus on things that sort of feed your child's emotional health and make them feel confident and competent, I think we're going to do them a disservice. So I think the important things are to have adults be there for children. What we know about the resilience to balance out adversity is that children who have an adult who cares about them, who listens to them, someone to whom they can voice their needs and concerns, do better.
Yeah.
Also, if you have an activity that you really like, so maybe you like sports and you have a great soccer coach that you talk to when you're playing soccer, or maybe you're learning to play the guitar and you have a great guitar teacher, all of those things that we think of as extras really help build your emotional resilience and your well-being. And so I would say to parents and aunts and uncles and teachers, exhale. Everyone missed out on the kind of school experience we wanted.
Yeah.
Build the other things for your child. Take them to the park. Ask them what kind of music they want to listen to. Make a dance party. Do anything that you can to spend time with them doing what seems to be important to that child.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let it be about them. I think is really where we want to go.
Be there for them. Absolutely. If you'd like to find out more, you can contact Providence Children's Health. We'll put all the information on our website at KATU.com. Doctor, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. We'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.